The General Miguna Miguna is back to the country, and so I want us to talk about the fiasco at the airport. Honestly, this is unwarranted. This is something that is not good for the country. It is so bad that the government has taken this thing too seriously. And the problem I always have with the Jubilee government is being in the business of creating heroes within the country. It is very easy for a government to create a hero, but it's very difficult for them to deconstruct that hero. They should always remember that when you create somebody, he might be even a problem to the regime. Look at the likes of Ali Hassan Joho. The government went and created Ali Hassan Joho. Right now, you cannot do anything in Mombasa without Ali Hassan Joho. The government has been into the business of creating Babu Owino and many other leaders, creating them through arrests. Not necessarily that these people are very good leaders, but just because the electorate is always in the business of believing that what is bad for government is good for citizens. The president and the deputy president need to carefully remember that they are also products of arrests. That when the ICC came looking and Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto were arrested, they became very good news to Kenyans. This is what they are making Miguna. Miguna is now very good news to Kenyans. Not because Miguna has done something extraordinary, not because of the agenda that Miguna is following, not because of the fight for electoral justice, but just because the government has proved that Miguna is bad taste, is bitter herb for government, which always makes it very sweet for the citizen. The citizen always believes that what the government is against, then that is the right thing for him. And this is the whole bizarre that is causing a lot of confusion. And look at it, the country was getting calm. Actually, people are continuing their business. The economy was even starting to rise after the Uhuru Raila handshake. But this complicates the whole matter. It complicates the entire matrix. Because as it stands now, it's a complication to both Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. The Raila Odinga supporters feel cheated by that handshake. They feel like they were duped by that handshake. They don't feel like they are a party to this government at all. And it complicates matters more for Raila Odinga at an individual level, because it is going to be very difficult for him to prove to the NASA followers and supporters that we are together when he cannot produce Miguna Miguna. It is going to be very difficult for Raila to convince people that he is not behind what is happening to Miguna until he gets Miguna out of this dungeon. It complicates matters more for Uhuru Kenyatta, because in the eyes of the public, he looks like he deceived Raila Odinga, he deceived the opposition to get something that is very, very short-lived. All this is very unwarranted. There are things that could have been avoided by just letting Miguna be, letting Miguna get into the country and pursue his normal cause. Otherwise, out of all this, we have now ended up with Miguna being bigger, being more famous, and more influential than the handshake. Seriously? This is what all this fiasco is bringing out. It's portraying the government in very bad light. It's portraying the government as a government that does not uphold the rule of law. This indeed sets very bad precedents, not just for the generation now, but for the generations to come. Because then it will be seen that it is now normal for you not to obey court orders. And people will say, if the government can do it, who am I not to do it? Something that leads the country to a state of anarchy. If the president wanted to really get the best out of the whole of this scenario, then he should remember the words of Martin Luther King, who once said that the best leader is not a searcher of consensus, but rather a molder of consensus. Let him embrace a situation whereby he can be able to mold consensus. Let him not be able to fear the people who do not necessarily agree with him. Let him embrace them and you'll be able to mold consensus, and we'll have a better country. But that's my opinion. That is my 2 cents.